FNAF Fangames are memorable for a lot of reasons, whether that be their gameplay or world building. But for me, a huge aspect as to why Fangames are memorable to me is the characters. Characters are arguably what people remember the most about FNAF Fangames, whether that be visually or actual character-wise. A lot of people remember these faces, and today, I'm going to count down what in my opinion are the top 10 best of them. There is no limit to the entries either. 2 characters from the same game can make it on the list as their own entries, but it won't be that asinine though. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe down below and turn on the notification bell if you wish. Totally optional, but it'd be appreciated if you did. Without further ado, let's begin. Just like a lot of others we'll get to on this list, Nightmare Ender's on here for mostly how he looks. The original Ender from Sister Location is my favorite FNAF character, and with this, his Nightmare version is not disappointing in the slightest. He looks so fucking cool and menacing. His utter disrepair helps with the design, and I love the hands. Holy shit, the hands. Not only is his design really good, he has a boss knight in Baby's Nightmare Circus all to himself called End Knight, which serves as a pretty good boss fight. His angles and poses in this knight look so damn incredible. Nightmare Ender is one sick bastard who helps make Baby's Nightmare Circus a more memorable experience. Ignited Bonnie is another example of a character who I think is just really cool. Due to the ignited animatronics taken after the Wizards, Ignited Bonnie looks more like Withered Bonnie, and I gotta say, that enhances his design. I always loved how Withered Bonnie didn't have a face due to how terrifying it made him look, and Ignited Bonnie is no exception. Not only is his design good, his speed in this level and Reborn makes him stand out more from the other Igniteds. And also, he's got by far one of the best jump scares I've ever seen in FNAF media. The punch is just perfect. Ignited Bonnie has always been my favorite regular Ignited animatronic, and I cannot lie about how sick he is. I always found Simon to be an interesting one. His design rocks, first of all. His human skeleton looks is just so creepy. As well, how he's presented in the 2016 version of Pop Goes provides genuine mystery within the gameplay when you're trying to get his ending. And speaking of his ending, the Simon ending is so cool, and that is thanks in part to Simon. How he just stares at you is so fear-inducing with that background beeping. Holy shit. His background lore is so intriguing too, and how he learns enough human intelligence to where he kills Fritz, his own creator. Genuinely solid character, and by far my favorite character to come from Pop Goes. Hopefully he's even better in Evergreen. The Baby Geist is without a doubt my favorite character to come from Baby's Nightmare Circus. Her design is just so fucking good. I love how she's an even more nightmarish version of Nightmare Baby, and is genuinely more terrifying in its appearance. Her supposed lore revealed by Biddy 2 is interesting, and how she's just a glitch in the game and is also even immortal. Genuinely interesting shit. What I also love about her a lot is her boss knight. Yes, it's just constantly finding her and shocking her, but for a character like her, I feel like it's fitting and it suffices. The Baby Geist rules, all from her design to her overall appearance in game. Need I say more? Oh, this is gonna be a fun one to talk about. Now, while I'm somewhat mixed on the game itself, 39 the character is genuinely one of the best parts about the game. This is the first character on this list where I can say with full confidence that they have an actual engaging character, as in a personality and everything to their own, and it's not their design that holds them up. Even so, the fact 39 is just a Bonnie recolor but with glasses makes them look stupidly awkward, but in a good way. It makes the game more funny in all honesty, but the reason why I love 39 specifically is despite being a foul-mouthed sailor who could be an ass, he's honestly a pretty sympathetic little guy. Sure, his antics of swearing and masturbating are hilarious at certain moments, but when you get to around night 7, that's where his character truly shines for me. You genuinely start to feel bad for him, and then, the ending where one of his only 2 friends left gets killed by a more superior model of himself, and the other friend gets taken by that model too, him vowing that he'll save Plushie, it just goes hard, and I mean it.
One day, I'll fucking destroy him. But I can't be seen in the streets. I gotta go into hiding. When will this pain end?
We also get to see more of 39's self-reflection of past mistakes and struggles in 5 Ventures with 39, where he's confronted by a shadow version of himself, and we get to see even more about him. He's fucked up in the past, but he regrets it. He's lonely now. He just wants a companion. 39 the Bunny, for a character known for his comedic side, has more going on with him than meets the eye, and that's why he has a spot high on this list.
I'll always remember you, Sam Clydeson.
The Penguin is such a cool little guy. That's why he's on this list and why he's also this high up. He's adorable. His design also highlights what made the designs in the first Fighting to Candies game so strong, which is how it took a FNAF 1 approach, looking unintentionally creepy. The Penguin is just the best when it comes to that in candies. I also love the role he presents in Candies, Burgers, and Fries, being an animatronic waiter, voice line and all. The Penguin makes such a presence throughout the series, literally even in Candies 2, the worst Candies game. He somehow has one of the better aspects of the game for his gameplay mechanic, where he can freeze the camera, which actually adds some challenge into what was otherwise a boring ass game. He also looks adorable as hell in the fishing with candy minigame from Candies 3. All around, the Penguin is another really good and memorable fan game character that everyone who plays Fighting to Candies are sure to remember. Creation. Oh, creation. Let me just get out of the way right now. I'm not gonna even sugarcoat it. He has the best character design I've ever seen in a FNAF Fangame. He looks so terrifying and monstrous. It's awesome. From his big ass feet to his hook to his endo body to his height to his face, it all looks so perfect. In game, he's also a menace. The fact he's an amalgamation of the Ignited crew just makes him unique as a character, and the attic memory from story mode serves as an outright incredible boss fight for him. The closer he gets to you creates a sense of fear and stress inside of you, and what he does as soon as he steps foot in the attic is so cool too, as well as his jump scare. Chef's kiss. Creation is a genuine threat in this game. You don't fuck with him, and that's why I love him. The joy of Creation wouldn't be the same without his utter beast, and he is by far my favorite character to come from that whole series. Vinnie is straight up amazing. In the first Fighting to Candies, he was just a more sad and blue puppet. Decent design, I suppose, and provided some mystery, but besides that, nothing more really. Then when Fighting to Candies 3 came out, my opinions on this character completely changed. He was given a backstory, a better design, more screen time, and even a name. In terms of design, he looks awesome. He looks so freaky and nightmarish that he gets genuinely unsettling, whether that be his eyes or his teeth or just bleh. Furthermore, his boss knight is really solid. He's an actual threat in his boss knight. He's menacing. He provides a challenge to the player, which makes him even more memorable, accompanied with the weird noises he makes throughout the night. And then we get into his lore. The amount of trauma this character has caused towards Mary, the third game's protagonist, is truly insane. Vinnie is given so much more purpose here. While it was his puppeteer that did the murders, Vinnie can still be given credit because of how this trauma makes Mary dream of this boss knight against him. Vinnie is a representation to Mary of her trauma, and that's what makes Vinnie such a compelling villain and character. Vinnie is pure evil, and that's why I love him. He's Fighting to Candy's strongest character in my opinion, and it really does show, doesn't it? He is immune to the plot and can transcend time and space, and he may come after you, so you better have fun. That whole aspect of Flumpty alone makes Flumpty such an amazing character. He's so goofy, I love him. His voice also makes him such a memorable character. As well, when you get to the third game, Flumpty himself becomes even better. He has a boss knight to his very own, and dare I say, he's a genuine threat during that whole night as well as hard-boiled. The fact he can take multiple forms in this night is just unique, especially his spider form. That kinda creeps me out. Some of his poses in general and a lot of his forms can come across as creepy. That's what makes Flumpty interesting though. On the surface, he's just a funny egg, but deep down, he's an insane psycho who even kills his friends. Not even joking. Flumpty suddenly doesn't become a joke anymore, and that's what makes him such an intriguing character. He's more than what meets the eye, and that creates a genuinely great villain. Flumpty is a great character that will remain memorable to FNAF fans for years to come, and it's understandable why. Yes, Dave Miller, the silly and comedic version of William Afton, is my favorite FNAF Fangame character. Let me explain. Dave Miller has a lot of layers to his character that makes him so compelling. First of all, he's a perfect satirical parody of William Afton and the lore of FNAF in general. The fact he acts so stupidly casual about his murderous self will always be so hilarious to me. He's also got some of the best jokes and lines to come from the Day Shift series.
As President George Washington once said, On board, your British count.
He's so silly and weirdly it works. However, that's not all to his character though. By the second and third game, Dave's story is revealed a lot more, and we start to find out what's truly going on with him. We find out his motivations for the murders and other shenanigans he does. He wants to destroy Freddy's. Freddy's ruined his life. Furthermore, in the third game, when Dave separates into two forms, Dave Trap and the Flipside Dave, it's extremely unique due to how we can see a more likable Dave for Flipside Dave, and still the comedic but murderous side of him through Dave Trap. And through Flipside Dave, we get to figure out much more about Dave than before, including the people he's associated with, especially Henry. We find out how him and Henry met and the amount of awful things Henry has done to Dave. Through this character, we find out about other characters, and that's always such a delight. Dave Miller, despite being the goofy and more awkwardly funny version of Afton, can be better than Afton in some aspects. I argue Dave has more character than William, but that's a topic for a whole other day. In the meantime though, Dave Miller is by far my favorite character from the Day Shift series for his dialogue, comedy, and also really intriguing and developed character, and that's why he's also, in my opinion, the best FNAF Fangame character of all time.